Hello Drag Race fans, welcome in. It is your least favorite Drag Race content creator, Jer, here with another Drag Race Top 10 fashion video. This week we are going to be discussing the fashions of season 13 of RuPaul's Drag Race. If you listen to my Drag Race podcast, this is not my most favorite season in the world, but I do think that the runways were incredible. It's not my favorite season because of production, not necessarily because of the queens. There were so many iconic fashion moments. This was a point in history where we had been locked down for so long. People had not seen live drag in a long time. Everyone was jonesing for drag. Everyone was excited to see what Drag Race was gonna look like post-lockdown. And the fashion that was brought to this season was kind of next level. It's like they used those stimmy checks to make sure that they got the best things that they could possibly get to make sure they were seen on national television while everyone was home to watch it. So without further ado, let's jump into my top 10 favorite fashions of season 13. And remember, if your favorite is not here, it doesn't mean that I think it's garbage. It just didn't make my top 10. We're starting out in the number 10 slot with Denali's Trains for Days look. This is an iconic look. I think all of you remember this because of that incredible lip sync to 100% Pure Love. It's sort of iconic and one of my favorite looks from this season because it is Team Too Much. There's so many colors, there's so many feathers. It is kind of an insane look. And when I say kinda, I mean a lot. This is an insane look, but it's incredible. It remains memorable all of these years later. With all of the bloat of Drag Race fashions that we have seen, Denali remains in my head for all of these psychotic colors in this silhouette. There's something sort of Victorian about the way that it's presented with this big feather bustle in the back. I'm not crazy about the shoes, but they match with the feathers at the bottom, the ombre that's happening there. Doing a tropical bird as a look for a train runway is kind of crazy, but it's iconic. So moving into the number 9 slot is Symone's drag excellence. Symone's skin is like butter. The way that she shines and shimmers on the runway, probably just naturally. Maybe she put some shine and sparkle on her before she went out, but it doesn't look like she did. This just looks like her skin is healthy and well taken care of and glimmery. This is a pretty simplistic look. It's a straight piece of fabric that doesn't have a lot of structure or shape, but the sleeves, these church lady sleeves with this collar, and then that beautiful teased 1920s style hair. God, she looks so good. This color is luxe on her. I love the fabric choice because it's glimmery too. She just looks like a star. She looks like a winner. In the number 8 slot is Rosé's Yellow Gorgeous. I don't love this particular yellow category. Yellow is a cool color, but I don't really know how you can theme it to a runway. I think when we've done things like Red for Filth, where you do a pun, maybe they could have done some type of different pun, because Yellow Gorgeous makes me think it's supposed to be Broadway or that it's supposed to be theatrical, which Rosé did by bringing it to the iconic Mask movie. The fabric choice is really fun. I like that there is some shimmer on the inside where the hood is and everything else is matte. The polka dots are really nice and luxe, juxtaposition with this really beautiful wavy red hair. I think this is one of Rosé's best looks of the season, which is kind of hateful that I've said that because her face is green, but everything about this just looks right. It looks correct. It looks cool. And I say that drag looks look cool very often during these, but that's what defines a memorable look. If you're gonna reach my top 10, you've got to tickle something in my brain. And this tickles that thing in my brain. It's well constructed, it's glamorous, it's fun, it's camp, it intersects all the things that I want to see. Next, we move into the number 7 slot, which goes to Symone's Fascinating Fascinators look. This look is special because of what it's talking about, because of the message that it delivers to Drag Race, something that is slightly uncomfortable. I think drag is inherently political, and drag should make you a little uncomfortable at times. It should force you to look at the world and look at the way you interact with it. This was a really important time for the Black rights movement. This was a very important time for the Black Lives Matter movement. And Symone using this opportunity, this platform that she was given to come on to RuPaul's Drag Race to present a message is really impactful and needs to be celebrated and remembered. This look gives me chills looking at it because even her look while walking down is somber. Everything is covered up, so it's not gregarious. It's not really exaggerated. It's nipped in, so it's still fashionable. The headpiece is really fascinating. It's sort of religious. The way that it looks, she almost looks like a pope. It's not distracting from the message. And that message is critically important and remains important. Next in the number 6 slot is Tamisha Iman is coming for you in We're Here, We're Sheer, Get Used to It. I like this look. It looks like a couture napkin. Have you ever been to a dinner party where there's just someone super bougie who's got a fancy napkin coaster container and it's just billowing out and opulent for no reason? That's what this is reminding me of, and I'm obsessed with it. The fanning out of this organza in the middle is so interesting and memorable to me. This sticks out for a lot of different reasons, but I just love the shape. I don't think I've ever seen anything that is so bulbous on Drag Race, but somehow does not look bulbous, because it really does draw your eyes in to the center with these huge pieces of organza coming out. And normally that would be distracting, but it's not here. It looks elegant. And I remember this look. I remember Tamisha in these colors. And I wish that this is what she wore all the time because the silhouette works for her and the colors are beautiful and her makeup is stunning. In the number 5 slot is Symone's Train for Days. I mean, my God. Is it culturally okay for me to say do-rag? I hope it's culturally okay for me to say do-rag because the idea of this is so out of my lane, but I know is important for Black culture and I know is being celebrated here. Symone always celebrated her Blackness, and that's something that I would love to see everybody be able to come in and do, is unabashedly celebrate their culture, their heritage, who they are. And Symone was always doing that. This look is really glamorous for the off-the-shoulder jacket. It looks like it belongs on a runway that is outside of Drag Race. The corsetry is gorgeous with all of the embellishments that are there. I love the slit that's at the bottom of this jumpsuit, and then the do-rag train with these little curls that are coming out. Oh, she looks so good, and I love that she's celebrating her and her culture. She looks beautiful, and this color is everything on her. Is there a color that Symone can't wear? Because I've not seen that yet. Moving into the number 4 slot is Utica's Bag Ball Eleganza. This almost went higher, but I had other ones that I liked more. The fact that Utica made this out of a sleeping bag is insane. That fabric is so thick and would destroy any needle that I owned. I don't think I have a needle that would be able to sew through that much fabric. So the fact that Utica was able to figure out how to do that and take this ugly, nasty looking fabric and make it a couture gown with the foreskin hood, these long nails, the avant-garde makeup, including these long stockings with the little bow details on them and the little lace. Everything about this is soft and powerful and strong and incredible all at the exact same time. It's sort of camp and fashion, and I love when camp and fashion meet each other because this print that's on the sides, this teal, is junior. It's toddler, but it works and it's incredible. It even has shape in it. It gives her body, and it's a crime that Utica did not win this challenge. This is one of the most memorable looks from the entire season. In the number 3 slot is Gottmik's Grand Finale Eleganza Extravaganza. A lot of Mick's finale package was horror inspired. I love that it almost looks like Jill Valentine from Resident Evil. Jill has this appearance where she's in a blue bodysuit and she's got this spider creature that's on her chest that's controlling her in this ruby red color. And there's tendrils coming out of it like a spider or a crab's legs. And this looks like a high fashion couture version of that Jill Valentine look. Mick had a look that was very Cenobite inspired. And so I wouldn't be surprised if this was riffing off of Jill Valentine. I probably should have done some research ahead of time to see if that was her point of inspiration, but that's what it looks like to me. This was such a cool look for the finale. It makes a statement. I love big, opulent, crazy silhouettes. Taking the mermaid silhouette and making it more bonkers by adding even more exaggeration to the hips, and taking this sleeve and bringing it up into a cone. Also really incredible. I love the sculptural hair. I'm enjoying all the beadwork that's here. She looks like a masterpiece that should be in a museum. Next in the top 2 slot is Symone's black and white look from the finale. I mean, what is there to say about this look? It's incredible. Using bandanas, celebrating her culture and her heritage again. This gigantic hair that looks like a mushroom on her head with the cascading down. This is a statement piece if I have ever seen one. She's got so much covered up, but then there's this element of skin in the asymmetry on the shoulder. So it brings a focal point out of this mass of fabric, but it doesn't look like it's eating her up. It doesn't look like it's swallowing her. And this is one of the most iconic looks that could have ever come down for a finale. Symone is just powerful. That's what I think of when I think of Symone. And I love that we got to see it one last time on the show before she departed off into the great wide non-drag race world. And finally, in the number 1 slot, I hope I don't get eaten alive for this, is Utica's promo look for Pastellaguins. The reason why this is up here, and I'm going to get already, so I'm hearing the fingers typing on the keyboard. The reason why this is at the top and not some of the other looks that were in this season is because this is one of my favorite promo looks across time and space. I think the only other one that I think about more than I think about this, or equal to, is Willow's look and Jasmine Masters in All Stars 4. These looks are statement pieces. They're extravagant, they are elegant, and they're camp. And that's where I really love drag, is where you get camp and glamour and they intersect with each other. This is high fashion, mama. This is every bit of fashion that exists, all blended into one, while bringing in some country bumpkin realness because it's a plaid. I love high-lows. That's where your skirt is high on one side and low on the other. I love that it's been built in these 3 different color fabrics that are all complementary to each other. They're not different sizes of plaid. This is sort of pearly band to me. I love the pink pearl hair. I love the multiple different hats that are stacked on top of each other. I like that even in the makeup, you see half and half. You see blue on one side, pink on the other, and there's all of these different split elements. She is so wild for this look, but it's so good. She looks like a porcelain doll. She looks outer worldly, and I think that's something that I've always loved about Utica's drag, is that she always looks like she's not from this planet. And something that I respond to really well is when you've got a lot covered up is showing some skin, and you can see that on the side of this structured corset that's built into the gown. You see that even up into the shoulder. So overall, really smart details that have been built into this, and I think Utica's mind is one that we've never seen on Drag Race, and I hope we get more characters like her, because I know that they're out there. And with that, that wraps up my favorite fashions of season 13. Let me know what some of your favorites were in the comments below, and remember, again, if your favorite was not here, it doesn't mean I thought it was trash. It just did not make my top 10. Take care of yourselves and see you on the flip. Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to click that like button. And if you want to see more, hit subscribe. Goodbye.